Nebraska Pick 3. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
What if I told you there's now a Nebraska Pick 4?
Say what?
It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. What would you say to that?
I love Nebraska Pick 4. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
Thought so. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Welcome to Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Lace up your skates and join Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they introduce you to special player guests and give you the latest news and results from across the USHL. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Fern.
Playoff baseball is in the air, but that also means that regular season hockey has gotten underway in the star city of Lincoln, Nebraska. The NHL will be right behind it here in a couple of weeks as we welcome you in to another episode of Outside the Box here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Also a very special hi to our video watchers as well. Alexander Fern here with you, joined alongside Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo. Rocky, we were just talking off air, baseball weather in the air. You're a Red Sox fan. You got the old Yankees Red Sox tonight. I'm assuming you'll be watching that pretty tentatively, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And one of my really good friends is the head coach in Aberdeen, Scott Langer, in the North American League, and he's a diehard Yankee fan. So that's been fun conversations the last few weeks. We've actually been debating the historical place of Aaron Judge.
Oh,
and where he fits on the grand scale of things, and obviously as a Yankee fan, he believes that he's in the conversation with the likes of Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle, and his regular season numbers are indicative of that. But he's got a 206 lifetime postseason average and no World Series rings, and so that's been a hot topic in regards to playoff baseball. But I've been doing this show now this will be my 5th year. We actually started in the small little studio and have now since moved to this luxurious, beautiful studio in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska, and we've been on at 8, we've been on at 7, we've been on at 6. The best part about being on at 4, I should say, it's the afternoon drive and all the voices or the ears that get to listen to us. But The best part is the coffee shop's open when I come in at 4:00, and I can get a little afternoon espresso pick me up and be able to chat. There's people around here, and so it's such a cool place to come down here in downtown Lincoln, and fun to see. This really has come alive with what DP and his wife and family tried to build, and their vision is very much real here now, and it's just cool to be a part of it.
Are you just a big straight espresso guy, or what's your go-to?
I'm usually an Americano guy.
Okay.
With just a little splash of the hot water there to go with the espresso. But today I got a couple shots.
Okay.
A little pick me up. I got to go home and play with the kids after this. So I gotta have all the energy I can have.
So we got to get to the hockey talk at some point, but I'm going to pick your brain.
No, we don't. The Ohio State Buckeyes held the Washington, the University of Washington to 6 points. That high flying offense this past Saturday. Number one defense in the league or in the country, if anybody happens to notice. OHIO. And there was some awesome college football games this weekend, and
great slate.
Yeah, Penn State, Oregon was a fun game to watch.
Alabama, Georgia was
a fun game to watch. No Huskers this past weekend, right? So
no, you're
so I don't feel bad not talking about them. But there's all sorts of things to talk about. We certainly don't have to talk about the 0-3 Lincoln Stars.
I do want to ask you about this Judge question. Are you on the Cal Raleigh MVP train then with that whole AL debacle?
So I am.
Okay.
And I am for the specific reason that he's a catcher.
Okay.
He had zero pass balls all year. He hits the magic number with the home runs. He's up over 125 RBIs. I know that Judge's WAR is better. I know his OPS is off the charts. Like Judge is a generational talent.
Yeah,
there's no question about it. There's an argument that Cal Raleigh's season might be the best season for a catcher ever. And so if he can't win the MVP with a season like that, then what do we do? Let's just give it to Aaron Judge every year until he retires. Let's just give it to Shohei Ohtani every year until he retires, and then move on. And I think Ohtani is unbelievable. Watching Ohtani, first of all, you don't get to watch him a ton. They're a West Coast team.
Playing the Reds tonight at 8.
I'm watching him pitch a couple weeks ago. And he doesn't even look like a pitcher, right? Like he's such a big dude. And at first glance, you're like, oh, they took the center fielder and they made him pitch. Something must be going. And then he just 101.
Nasty breaking
8
ball.
inches of movement on his breaking pitches, and he's just gross. And then he gets up and he hits a ball 440 feet, and you're like, okay, this is not something you've ever seen. We've seen, you haven't, you're too young, but Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders and guys that are freak athletes that play multiple sports. Brian Jordan was another one, right? And but to see him doing it and playing every day and then pitching every 5th day, coming back from the surgery on his elbow to be able to still do what he's doing is Babe Ruth-esque. And it's incredible.
Let me just say the right answer in the Aaron Judge Cal Raleigh debate is that Bobby Witt Jr. needed to win last year so Aaron Judge could win this year. That's what needed to happen. The voters jilted Bobby Witt Jr. Oh, look at the 60 home runs from Aaron Judge. No, should have given it to Bobby Witt. So then Aaron Judge's 4th best season by a right-handed batter ever could have won MVP this year. I'm also on the Raleigh train. But Coach, I am curious. We hear a lot about multi-sport athletes, right? You just talked about that. How much of that is there in hockey? Is hockey you're in hockey or you're not, or is there any like multi-sport training going on in hockey?
I'm going to answer that question for you, but I'm going to make one more statement on Judge and Raleigh. Who are the Seattle Mariners where they are today if Cal Raleigh doesn't have the season that he had?
No,
they are not. But you could also argue the same for the Yankees, who torpedoed when Judge went on the IL.
They were, and in the last 40, he was probably the best player in the league, right?
Unfortunately.
So listen, if he wins it, it's deservingly so. But if he wins it and Cal Raleigh can't win it with the season that he had, then just give it to, he's 33, give it to him for the next 5 years, and then we'll be done, right? And he is that good. I get it. But he's still batting 206 in the postseason.
Right.
Okay. To answer your question, yes and no. I think we want athletes. I think what has happened in the last 15 years is hockey players and any athlete is specializing too soon. They become year-round athletes in one sport far too soon in their lives. And then what happens is I take my hockey team to the batting cages and they can't swing a bat, or I take them to play flag football and they can't throw the football. They can do two things. They can play hockey and they can play golf. And that's it. And so it's refreshing when I have guys that are multi-sport athletes that played baseball in high school, that played football, that played hockey, that are well-rounded athletes. I think it's in their best interest. I think your hips and your abdominals and a lot of these things that are really important to be a successful, explosive hockey player develop further than when you just specialize in one sport year-round. And too many times, young hockey players that specialize and only do one thing for 12 months out of the year, they burn out. And I remember as a kid, I was a baseball player. I was a better baseball player than I was a hockey player. And I actually had Division I baseball scholarships. I didn't have that in hockey. And so I used to throw my bag in the garage and I'd go play baseball all summer. And once a week, maybe I'd go to the rink and I would skate or we would go have some fun, but I played baseball all summer. And then it would start to overlap a little bit. I was playing football in the fall. And up until high school, I was playing basketball too. And so it was like playing 4 sports a year makes you a well-rounded athlete. And I think that's valuable for athletes. And if you talk to elite athletes that are playing pro sports right now, you're going to find out that a good majority of them played more than one sport growing up.
I mean, yeah, and to that point, and there's like a couple of outliers. Like Tom Glavine was drafted by the Los Angeles Kings, but ended up, winning 20 games one year, won a Cy Young one year.
Oh, that rotation with Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz was as good as we were just talking about
the Braves,
before we came on in the early 90s with them and the Pirates in the NLCS. Ooh. And Sid Bream and Barry Bonds and Andy Van Slyke and the Braves playing on TBS as a kid, man. Like I was 9 years old. Like that was peak playoff baseball for me. And yes, he was an elite athlete and there still are. Look at Kyler Murray. Yeah. Kyler Murray was a Major League Baseball draft pick. A lot of these guys were. Tom Brady was a Major League Baseball draft pick, right?
The Blackhawks just drafted a kid from Edina, Mason West, who was their starting quarterback in high school.
And he's actually playing. He is playing football this year at Edina. And then he's leaving after football season and going to play in Fargo. Yeah. So, this is a kid that the major question leading into the NHL draft was what sport was he going to pick, because he's like 6'5", and he's got a cannon for an arm, but he ultimately decided on hockey. And so he got drafted. I don't remember what it was, the 3rd or the 4th round last year, but I'm not looking forward to him showing up because he's a pretty darn good hockey player.
Yeah, West was actually drafted 29th overall by the Hawks
this past rounder. There you go.
Yeah.
So the question is, he wouldn't have been a first rounder had he not made the choice to pick hockey before that. And so that was the argument going into it, is where does he fall? Someone's going to take him either way, but if he commits to hockey before the draft, he gets drafted late in the first.
You see that a lot with baseball and football, right? Guys like Russell Wilson, who were, going to be playing baseball, and then Russ transferred to Wisconsin, who didn't have a baseball program at the time. You mentioned Kyler Murray. John Elway was a draft pick by the Yankees.
And the Royals first. Okay. Yeah. Vendetta against John Elway and Dan Marino.
There's no salt
both
over there.
Draft picks by the Royals. God. They both jilted him.
Cool.
I went to high school or to college with Antonio Gates.
Oh,
the tight end for basketball player. Okay.
Gates did not even play football in college. Played basketball.
Yeah.
And that year they had the Elite 8 run at Kent State. And there was all these NFL scouts in the stands watching him play basketball. I actually was in class with Antonio Gates and Josh Cribbs in the same class.
That is a crazy room right there.
And so, I mean, this guy didn't even play football in college, and now he's an NFL Hall of Famer. He's in
Freak show.
And he was a complete freak of an athlete. Wonderful guy too. But that is a well-rounded athlete right there. And that's why you can see a guy like that make that transition and be successful.
Moral of the story, kids, is athleticism seems to pay off.
Yeah, get enough with the specialization, enough with the the 100 different private lessons and mom and dad paying money. Like, just go out and run around and catch things and throw things and be an athlete, and the rest of the stuff will figure it out on its own.
Here's a question, and this is, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. Do you feel like in the United States National Development Programs helped a lot for the U.S. hockey on a national side of things? Do you feel like at the end of the day that's also hurt the way that talent levels in sports kind of end up that way, is because kids are being streamlined, saying, hey, you're only playing hockey, when they're like, I want to play baseball in the summer. It's like, no, you are going to all these summer skates for people to watch you play. Do you feel like that's kind of the mindset of, hey, there's only kind of one route to go here, is kind of hurt everybody in the kind of the long run in that sense?
I need to choose my words carefully here.
Okay. Didn't mean to put you in a bad spot by any means.
No. I think that particular program that you're discussing has been instrumental in the development and growth of USA Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
The international success that we've had in recent years, World Juniors, Olympics, etc., has been a major factor in that program. Was a major factor in that success. That program's at a crossroads right now because of the eligibility of the CHL players. I'm a big proponent of what that program has done and why it was built. I think hockey's in a different place now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that development in the USHL is fantastic. I think the coaches, the owners, et cetera, do a wonderful job. And so I'm curious to see, as a bystander, how this whole thing shakes out over the next couple years. And if kids start to look at it and say, you know what, I can still play football, I can still play baseball, and then I can go play in the USHL, or I could go play in the CHL. I don't have to necessarily take the program route to still have that long-term success. A lot of kids are still going to do it because it's a fantastic option. Let's be honest. They've done a wonderful job. But now there are more options, and I wonder what that looks like in a couple years. So that's my stance on it. I have nothing but appreciation for it, but I wonder how that continues as we move forward.
You also, like, in that sense too, you have the guys that did go the other way. Like, they were good hockey players, but in the end of the day, they decided to go to other sports. One guy, and I know Wisconsin high school hockey is kind of looked down upon at points, but then again, it's high school hockey anyway. JJ Watt was a freak athlete with his Wisconsin high school hockey
team.
The
right choice.
Yeah, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Like, I mean, that family in general has churned out great athletes. But like, I feel like do you think that's a parent problem, or is that just kind of an institutional kind of just organized
keeping
sports
up with
problem?
the Joneses a little bit?
Okay.
And the parents are, I think, for every one parent that thinks they're going to buy their way into a kid having a scholarship and buy their way into a kid being a pro athlete, the majority of them are just trying to provide the experiences that help young people grow up. And I think sports are the great equalizer. They teach adversity, they teach success, they teach compete, they teach teamwork, they teach selflessness. And to me, it's incredibly important for young people to play sports growing up. I don't think that you should play sports with the goal in mind of this is an investment so my kid can get a scholarship. If that's what you're doing it for the wrong reasons. For every Earl Woods, there's or Venus and Serena's dad. For every parent like that, there's
for every LeVar Ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? I'll give the guy credit. His kids are in the NBA.
Yeah.
But for all of those parents that find a way to get their kids there, everybody else fails. I mean, your chances of playing pro sports in one of the four major sports organizations is so minuscule that you're probably got a better chance of getting hit by lightning a couple times. So you got to recognize why you're doing what you're doing. Keep it fun for your kids, and then when they get serious about it, give them the option to pursue their careers. And that's what is happening here in Lincoln, right? The families of our players recognize that their kids have a goal, and they've earned the opportunity to pursue that goal. And so, mom and dad are enabling them to pursue their goal. They're out working hard to raise money so they've could pay for hockey growing up and pay for equipment growing up. And now they're in a league where they don't have to pay for these things, and their kids are getting to reap the benefit of it. But, even if you reach this level, your chances of playing in the National Hockey League are still so incredibly small. They grow a little bit each level that you go up, but it takes incredible talent and incredible commitment and a little bit of luck too. You got to get the right bounce. You got to get the right opportunity. You get drafted by the wrong team and you get buried in the American Hockey League and you never get a chance to get to the National Hockey.
Well, then you may be able to go back to college hockey nowadays.
Yeah, apparently you can have a point a game in the ECHL and play a few games in the American League and then go and play Division I college hockey the following year. That's not going to last very long.
No,
that right now there's a disconnect that's going to have to be sorted out. And quite honestly, if I'm a college coach right now, I want that sorted out. I don't want to be able to go and recruit former pros. I don't think that's beneficial to the genuine interests of student athletes. And I look at our players and, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to go take a 23-year-old that played in the American Hockey League last year? Am I going to take an 18-year-old that played in the USHL? Like, we don't want to turn. We've already started to turn college athletics at the the football and the basketball is become very much pro sports. Let's be honest. I mean, Bryce Underwood makes $12 million at Michigan, and clearly that was not a good choice because he's a little bit overpaid. But guys are making more money than their head coaches are, and I do not believe that is the right way for it to be done. I think that when I was growing up, you wanted a Division I scholarship so that you could, number one, be a student athlete with the first word there being student. You're going to get your school paid for.
Yeah,
and so many people in this country are just absolutely handcuffed with student loan debt, that getting your school paid for, getting your books paid for, getting your meals paid for, getting your getting your housing paid for. Like, I can't wrap my head around an athlete saying, pay me. Everything's free here and I still want more money. And I get it. I understand it, but I don't agree with it. And I think that college athletics on the grand scale have become so profitable, but what they don't realize is that, look at the University of Nebraska. You've got football that absolutely blows the doors off everything, right? You've got volleyball that does the same thing. You've got basketball that's really starting to grow, right? You got bowling. Bowling's not making any money, right? But those are student athletes that deserve the same opportunity as these other student athletes. And so the money that gets made off of these 100,000 seat crowds at football stadiums and these whatever 9,000-10,000 at a volleyball, that's paying for these small programs where these people get to be student athletes at the Division I level. And that's really what it should be at the grassroots level. And you're getting your college paid for. You're walking away from college with a degree and no debt. And that's what getting a scholarship used to mean. Now it's, oh, well, I'm not going to go here because this place offered me 50 grand more and my mom gets a car. And, and so the minute that they don't like what they're dealing with, what do? They run out the door, they go into the portal, they go somewhere else. You can't hold players' feet to the fire anymore. You can't hold them accountable. I didn't agree with some of the okay, coach can leave, no questions asked. Player had to sit out a year no matter what when it came to the transfer. To me, let's find common ground where you get one no questions asked transfer, right? You don't like it there, fine. Go somewhere else. But you want to transfer again, you got to sit a year. We're going to have, this is free agency where we're going to have guys playing in 4 different schools in 4 different years. They're about to approve 5th year of eligibility is the word on the street. These guys are going to play at 5 different schools in 5 years. They're not getting an education. What are you learning? You're not getting a degree.
I think I just read somewhere that Stetson Bennett was in college for 7 years and he didn't get a degree. And he's the backup for the Chargers as of right now, I think.
Yes.
So
I think it might be the Rams, but
wherever he is,
yeah,
one of those SoFi Stadium teams.
Yes, but that's the reality of it is, and I mean, there are a lot of guys that are playing here, and then literally what happened last year? UCLA and Tennessee basically made a trade, right? Each starting quarterback just flopped, and they both went because they wanted more money.
Yeah,
it wasn't about, hey, I got a good coach here, and I want players are no longer going to schools or to organizations or to programs because of the coach, because of the amenities, because they're going to develop you. When I was growing up, my dad would have looked and been like, you're going to go play for somebody that's going to continue to help make you a man. That's going to serve your best interest of development. That's going to make sure you get good grades. That's going to make sure that you're going to be the best athlete you could be and to be a good human being. Now it's just, where's the bag the biggest? And I think that's not long-term what's good for society. And I think we're probably seeing that on a day-to-day basis.
We're going to take a break and continue Outside the Box on the other side as you are listening to Outside the Box right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hey, Husker fans, Max Tan is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan, take it to the max.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's time for Bonsall Pool and Spa's Front Load event. From September 23rd through the 27th, stop by Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to see an actual truck full of hot tubs with special prices. You'll save up to $3,000 on all hot tubs and swim spas, as well as $1,500 on all saunas and cold plunges. Use Nebraska football's bye week well by stopping in on September 27th for refreshments and giveaways. That's Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard in Lincoln.
I love Nebraska Pick 3. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
What if I told you there's now a Nebraska Pick 4?
Say what?
It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. What would you say to that?
I love Nebraska Pick 4. It's the Nebraska Lottery's very best game, and nothing could ever change my mind.
Thought so. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Spur.
You know, sometimes I feel like this job would be a lot easier if I could learn to put on headphones. But nonetheless, we're back. It's the second half hour of Outside the Box here at 93.7 The Ticket. Joining me today, we've got Lincoln Stars forward Alex Pelletier and defenseman Nick Young. Boys, thanks for taking the trip down O Street and chilling with us today. Appreciate it. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Pretty good. How are you?
Good. 3 or 2 days of practice in post Friday. Legs feeling good. Body's feeling good. 3 games into the season.
Yeah, I think the boys are feeling good now. We only had 1 game this weekend, obviously, but it didn't go the way we wanted to. But I think we've had 2 good days of practice now, and we're trending in the right direction.
You'll apologize for my fist bump, boys. The Chicago Cubs just beat the San Diego Padres, so that's a huge win for the boys in Cubby Blue. Sorry about that. We get home opener out of the way. Didn't go your guys' way in the win-loss column. The first question I got for you guys, and this is something that I've kind of polled everybody in the office, whether that's the front office side of things and a couple of players. What do you guys think of the 30th anniversary sweaters on Friday for you guys?
They were sick. Corey did a great job.
I don't think that guy's ever missed on a specialty jersey.
Yeah, no.
I don't think there's one negative comment about the jerseys at all. Everyone was just loving it.
You guys enjoy when you guys go to college. It's going to change because in college you have to wear the white at home. You have to wear the colored jerseys on the road. Do you guys have a favorite uniform that we have in our repertoire this season, or just in general?
Personally, I like the black ones with the black helmets the best.
Okay, so the black on black with the white numbers. Okay,
yeah, the black's pretty sweet.
Growing up, I liked the I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if you guys were here when they had the L on the front of the jersey with the state of Nebraska outline, kind of like they have the Dallas Stars jerseys
gray?
now. They were gray. Yeah. Those I liked those a lot when I was growing up. But that's besides the point. I'm a big jersey snob as it comes to that. Let's talk about this past Friday at the Icebox. Pelletier breakaway goal. You had 2 points, Nick. Good weekends for you guys. On the stat sheet, 3 games into the season, 0-3 is the record. Plenty of time to turn it around. How are you guys feeling about the team right now? You guys can pretty much just take whatever angle you want in terms of who wants to answer anything.
We're feeling good. Obviously, 0-3, not the way we want to start, but we got a younger group, and we're still just working out, the little wrinkles we have, and every day at practice we're working hard, paying attention to the little details, and we'll get there. We just got to work hard, and it'll come.
Yeah, and then I would say there's been plenty of positive parts of our game that we can take from, obviously 3 losses, not the way we want to start the season, but there's plenty of room for growth in a lot of positive areas of our game that we have. So obviously we're going to try to fix some of the wrinkles in our game and keep the positives going, and hopefully start to get some wins on the board.
Feels like you guys are very physical this season, at least whether that's on the decor or on the forward side of things. I'm going to allude to it was called a penalty in real time. Lefty had a big hit on the far side of the ice when we were playing at home this past Friday. I haven't seen an open ice hit that big in this league in a very long time, but you guys take pride in that physicality side of your guys' game, kind of that Lincoln hockey kind of style?
Yeah, I think the coaches harp on physicality all the time, and like before the game, the message is always physicality is a big one. Get on teams, wear them down, stuff. So that obviously was a big hit and stuff, resulted in a penalty. I think a lot of people disagreed in that call, but
I was one of them. You can listen back to the footage. It was me.
But physicality is a big area of emphasis for our team.
Yeah, like we don't necessarily have the biggest team on paper, but we try to play tough and strong and go through hands and finish guys. So
I had Prouse and Loomer on the show last week, and I asked them who's going to be the first one to drop the gloves this season, and they both immediately said Brady Sloper, and they were right in that sentiment. So I mean, I'm not going to ask you guys to put you on the spot again this time because there's not really a first to have the rest of the year. Pels, you had that breakaway goal on Friday as well. We have already 3 breakaway goals by my count this season. Kohanski scored the first goal of the season. Pedersen had one in that game against Madison, and now you this season on the break. I see you guys practice. I don't know remember if it was Thursday last week or not, but you guys practice those one-on goaltender situations a lot. What was going through your mind when you put that puck in the back of the net before toe picking in the corner, of course?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, I think it was a good play by Loomer. It was kind of a scrum in the corner, and the puck squeaked up to Loomer on the right wall, and we kind of made eye contact, and he knew what I wanted, and I was a puck indirect off the wall, and I kind of had their right defender was kind of flat-footed, so I burned him wide, and then obviously shot at 5-hole and beat the goalie to the floor. So yeah, it was nice to get that goal.
Your goal was to go 5-hole the entire time?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the entire time, but I mean, if you can beat the goalie down right toe, usually you have a good shot.
I asked a kid who was on the St. Cloud State team that I called games for 4 years. His name was Werner Miet, and he played with Fargo back, I think it would have been one of your guys' years that he was in Fargo. But that's besides the point. He shot 5-hole in a shootout game against North Dakota one year to give us in college, shootouts are ties, which is dumb. I'm not going to get into that. But a shootout when you get an extra point in conference. He goes 5-hole, beats Ludvig Persson was the goaltender's name, big goalie from Sweden. And I asked him post game, is like, what was going through your mind on that shootout time? Because I was trying to go high glove, and he just whiffed on it and went 5-er, and he beat him. So that's good to know that you were trying to go 5-hole.
No, I wasn't trying to go high or anything.
Good. Because sometimes it's just like, yeah, you're trying to go 5 the whole time, and then it just it doesn't work out that way. Going into that game on Friday, though, you get that whole intro ceremony. You guys were both parts of the Anderson Cup team last year. That's got to feel pretty cool to see those banners get raised for you guys, right?
Yeah, that was cool. Our team worked so hard last year, and have that in the box. That'll be there forever. It's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Obviously, this whole ceremony is really cool and stuff. We set a really high standard last year, and that's something we're going to try to replicate this year.
Did you prep any of the newbies on the light show?
No, I don't think a word was said about that. Just kind of let them experience that on their own and stuff. Don't put too much in their head about that.
There are some guys that experience, like Pedersen was up for a couple of games. But like even guys like Braden Hughes, who have been on the opposite side of the things when he was playing in Omaha last year, I was sitting up next to him in the press box. He was scratched that game, and he goes, "This is the coolest thing that I've ever seen when I've been playing hockey is when he was lining up on the other side and that star drops down in front of everything." Do you guys you guys are a big fan of the light show, I assume, right? Is that top for you guys' experience? I know you guys don't get to experience anything as the home team. Other way, except for you, Pels, you played for another USHL team in your career, if I remember correctly. Is that the best intro you think in this league? The whole light show thing that we've got going on at the Icebox?
Yeah, by far.
I would say so easily. Yeah.
Is there any other ones that come close? We were just talking off air about Cedar Rapids and what they do.
Yeah, I think theirs is more interesting than
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like for me personally, more of the bad ones stick out.
What's the worst that you've experienced?
What's the worst? I think Tri-Cities is not great.
Oh yeah.
Is it because they don't get anybody to go to them, or
that's also
their intro's really long?
Too. Okay.
Yeah. Usually the ones that aren't very good are the ones that have us waiting on the bench for a long time, and it's like a whole lot of nothing at the end of the day, and that's kind of one that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, fair point. I guess I haven't really given much thought to that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about going into this series. We got 2 against Cedar Rapids Friday and Saturday, 7:05. Both nights, both games will be on Flow Hockey and on Mixler. I'll be on the call. These guys will be on the ice. Should be a fun time. Heading to Cedar Rapids. This is a a team that you guys were able to beat a couple of times last year, took the season series from them. Then again, there wasn't really much, pushback on anybody taking season series from you guys at all last season. What are you guys kind of hitting on in practice? Has the mindset really shifted over to Cedar Rapids rather than, recovering from this past, one game against Sioux Falls? Or what is the coaching staff kind of preaching to you guys coming into this series?
We're just like focused on ourselves,
Okay.
watching film, we're seeing things like we could work on, things we did good, trying to work on, our, like competing and some of our, systems that we run, and just trying to perfect those things to get ready.
Yeah, I would say it's too early in the week to focus on Cedar. We kind of are just worrying about ourselves and cleaning up mistakes from this past weekend. I think later on Thursday, Friday is kind of the time that we'll start worrying about them.
Talking about mistakes, and I just want to talk about this in general because this statistic is kind of odd, and you guys are out on the ice, so you see it a lot better than I do. Right now, we have a 54.5% penalty kill, and a lot of that damage, of course, 2 power play goals from Sioux Falls last week. What do you feel like is kind of the difference in that being that number rather than, being towards that kind of top echelon that it was last season?
Well, first of all,
I know it's a big question, but I'm sorry.
Well, first of all, like just the amount of penalties we've taken is absurd. I think we've had 3 5-on-3s in 3 games, which is
right
kind
now
of crazy.
As it stands right now, you guys have taken the most amount of. Well, let me keep talking. I'm going to get back to you.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
had. Well, I know Friday night we had 8 penalties, not counting Sloper's fight. So that was like total 30 minutes in penalties, which is too much. We got to be more disciplined. But then also, like on the penalty kill, we gotta sort that out. We got to eat more pucks and box people out in front of the net and just be harder to play against.
Yeah, on the penalty kill, there's been a little too much chasing outside, looping. We just got to go back to some of the simple details, stop on pucks, good sticks, good neutral zone forecheck on the PK. Just some of the smaller things we'll clean up, and I think we'll find more success on the PK going forward.
Yeah, right now you guys sit second in the USHL behind Green Bay in penalty minutes. You guys have taken 35 penalty minutes, total of 11 power, or total times of 11 times shorthanded, according to the USHL website, 5 power play goals allowed. But yeah, this is something that, it's early in the season. You want to kind of get out the wrinkles early in it, iron that out. What can you guys do to kind of, it's something that you're not going to fix overnight. It's kind of something that you have to kind of bang into your guys' heads. What can you guys do to kind of the younger guys? Because we're not going to sugarcoat it. This is a very young team that you guys have. I was doing the math when that line chart that we posted on Friday, 3 guys aren't allowed to return. And that's mind-boggling in this league with, it's very much built on that veteran present. You look at the Stars last year, a lot of guys, left to go play college hockey. Of course, a couple of guys still staying. How much do you have to kind of preach that to those young guys who, yes, this is a way faster league than anything they've ever experienced. Guys make tape-to-tape passes look easy when in high school or wherever they were playing before, it's going to look, a little slower, a little bit more fumbly. What do you try to tell those guys about just trying to keep the game in front of you, if that makes any sense?
I think the most important thing, obviously take some time to acclimate to the speed of the USHL, but like the most important thing is just like we could just lead by example, try to help guys out. If they, make a tough player, we need more out of them, just talk to them and try to help them out. Cause I know like when I was here, when someone would do that to me when I was a rookie, like it would help a lot.
I'd say leading by example is a good one. Also confidence, like every kid on our team's here for a reason. So at the end of the day, some of these younger kids might be a little nervous playing their first couple of games in the league, obviously. But at the end of the day, they're here for a reason and stuff. So we need them to bring that confidence that they had earlier in their career and stuff, and confidence to make plays, score goals, all those things that we'll need to have success this year.
How do you build their confidence like that? When guys, sometimes they have the game speed up on them. Is it just saying, hey, you're going to be okay, just on the bench, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think also Monday to Thursday, building day by day, getting better, like having good reps, like being ready to practice, executing in practice. I think you can build day by day leading into the weekend. And at the end of the day, like if you have a good week, you'll be ready to go on Friday and Saturday for the games.
Yeah. Just like also like, notice someone does like makes a good play or blocks a big shot. Like, like go give them a pat on the pads and like tell them good job and all those things. Like they build confidence.
Well, we beat through the hockey talk quick. I got a couple of non-hockey topics to get to you guys after the break. But when we come back, we're going to close out Outside the Box right here at 93.7 The Ticket.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies. It will be breezy, see higher on 82. Tonight, decreasing cloud cover with light winds, a low around 61. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with a high near 86. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Need a tractor that works as hard as you do? Whether you're baling hay or feeding cattle, a John Deere 6M or 6R from Landmark Implement is built to handle it all. And right now, you can get 0% fixed rate financing for up to 72 months on new in-stock models. That's 6 years with zero interest on the tractor your operation depends on. Hurry into your local Landmark Implement or visit landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max 10, take it to the max.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you ready to transform your body and your life in just 10 weeks? At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, our kickboxing challenge combines heart-pumping cardio, strength training, and proven nutrition coaching to deliver real results. Lose fat, gain strength, and feel more confident than ever. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Join the Next Barrels 10-week challenge starting October 11th and take the first swing towards a healthier, stronger you. Barrels Extreme Body Shaping, results, not excuses. Join today, fxblincoln.com. That's fxblincoln.com.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Spur.
Final segment of Outside the Box here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Special thank you to Austin Norman for making sure that we sound pretty. More than anything, I think we can appreciate that. He also chimed in with a little bit of baseball talk when Rocky was in here earlier. Guys, I do have a couple of questions. We were talking a little bit off air about football more than anything. Young is a Bills fan. Pels grew up what'd you say, Patriots fan when Brady was there, right?
The glory days, yeah.
Of course.
Did you just immediately stop when he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Or?
I wouldn't say stop. I would say slow down when they obviously their success kind of came to a halt.
Hell, they got Drake May now, though. So yeah, he looks decent.
Some promising days ahead, hopefully, but we'll see.
Well, then Younger over here's got, Josh Allen, the reigning MVP.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. They still are yet to win a Super Bowl, so hopefully it's their year.
That ain't their fault, though. I mean, the one year that I think they had the best chance to win it, they got screwed over by NFL overtime rules.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. You guys big baseball fans? We do have playoff baseball happening right now.
I'm not gonna lie, not really.
No,
like I like the sport, but I've just never.
Well, you grew up in Buffalo, so what? When the AAA team of the Toronto Blue Jays, I think, is in Buffalo. The Bison,
the
right?
Buffalo Bison. I've been to a few games. Nothing like just with my grandparents, like a while ago.
Anything in Connecticut, Pels?
Nothing in Connecticut, but obviously, like I live in Connecticut, which is halfway between New York City and Boston. So.
Oh, you're right in the thick of that.
Yeah, everyone's like 50-50 in my area, but I obviously am a big Boston guy, so all my family is like Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins. So I've kind of been a Red Sox fan since I was younger.
So you're a big Bruins guy. Is that your probably your best pro team then?
Yeah, I would say Bruins. I'm more of like a players fan, but I like individual players. But Bruins I kind of like them.
Oh, the players that you like probably got up and left over this past year with Marchand going to Florida.
Yeah,
Pasta's still there.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure.
Obviously
worked out good for him.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys, it's so hockey centric during the season, but you're at the rink, you're practicing. I've seen your guys' schedule. I couldn't do it, but then again, look at me. So do you guys have, downtime whenever you get the chance? What are you guys doing with your downtime?
Like, I don't know. I just chill, relax, at my billets at home. They have a couple younger kids. So it's just like maybe hanging out, playing a little game with them, or maybe sometimes taking a nap, or just
big nap guy,
calling your parents, or just relaxing. Like we do a lot, so you get tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's like at the end of the day, you get to the rink at 8:30 in the morning. You leave most days by 2 something. So you're with the guys for what is that 6 hours a day around then. So you're not dying to necessarily hang with the guys all night. Sometimes a little time to yourself is nice. Just chilling, relaxing, take a nap, something like that. Kill time.
We were just talking a little bit off air as well about that trip to Pittsburgh. We never really stopped on the way there, except for the time we blew a tire and nobody figured that out in the middle of the night. That was a very odd situation.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' go-to road snacks? I know you guys got to keep your body pretty much fresh for most of it. Both you're stopping at the gas station. What are you guys sticking with?
They give us a lot of drinks on the bus, so I normally stay clear of drinks, be like Gatorade and waters. But if I grab a snack, maybe some like nuts or a little bag of like candy, just something to like just snack on. We get the Booster Club; they give us a bunch of snacks too. So I don't always go in and load up, but sometimes just like a little treat is kind of nice, especially if there's longer road trips.
Yeah,
just something to grab.
I usually stay clear of the sweets and go more towards like the chocolate. I'm more of like a chocolate than sour guy, or whatever, sweet than sour.
Okay.
So some sort of like chocolate, whatever I'm in the mood for. There's a lot of options, obviously, in the gas station. So something that'll.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What does the Booster Club usually saddle you guys up with more than anything?
We get like a lot of dried fruit. They give like some little bags of goldfish. They give us meat sticks, apples, oranges. granola bars, a lot of stuff. It's really nice. There's a big cooler, so boys never get hungry.
Well, I do want to say thank you guys for hopping on this week. I really do appreciate it. We're getting through all the returners before we bring in some new guys here. Do you guys have any nominations for who to bring on next week?
Nate Pedersen.
Nate Pedersen.
He's a rookie though, so
okay.
If you want returners,
I got Hirschfeld was a suggestion last week.
Yeah, you should get Johnny on.
You get the fighter Sloper.
Yeah, Sloper.
Okay, well, I'll write those down and I'll get back to you on that. Thank you guys for joining. Before we leave, next weekend, the Stars take on the Madison Capitals at the Icebox Friday and Saturday. We've got 2 for $6 Busch Light and PBR Tall Boys next Friday at the Icebox. Be there. Thank you, Alex Pelletier, Nick Young. My name is Alexander Fern, staying so long as you have been listening to production of Lincoln Stars Radio, I guess, on Outside the Box on 937 The Ticket. See you next week.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and